The following game has been rated T for teen by the ESRB for fantasy violence, mild language, and drug references. That means anyone under the age of 13 should not be watching this video. You have been warned. Greetings and salutations, I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is of course my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. Today we will be returning to Starpoint Gemini Warlords. Now, given how often we play this game, yes, about a month, you would think that you would eventually learn what this game is about. Yeah, it probably is more fun this way. Fair point. Alright, so the premise of the Starpoint Gemini series is that you are a starship captain doing starship things. In the binary system known as Gemini, hence the name Gemini, and the lore is that the system was originally settled by this Terran empire that wasn't really all that benevolent. Of course, if you call yourself an empire, you're probably not. So anyway, the people of Gemini back in the ancient days decided to fight a war of independence against their old overlords. Someone at some point used reality-bending weapons, which not only caused all number of spatial and temporal anomalies, but also severed the Gemini system's connection with the rest of everywhere. At one point, that connection was regained. The Terran Empire reinvaded. Stuff happened at Old Earth, and a splinter group of the Empire managed to escape into Gemini before the passageway was resealed. That splinter group settled onto a planet known as Pharaohs and created the Solari Concord, of which your character is a part of. In fact, your character runs the station known as Concordia, where you're able to not only build and maintain your, well, not really build, but buy new ships and maintain your ship. But unlike the rest of the Starpoint Gemini series, you're able to create an entire fleet of AI-controlled ships, all of which do your bidding in a pseudo real-time strategy game element. Well, I've not finished any of the games in the series. I have played a fair chunk, I want to say, of 1 and 2. But Warlords is probably my favorite of those that I've played. But that's not a moot point and doesn't really factor into the game itself. So, of course, this game is made by... Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin. Okay, so here we are. This is us. This is our ship. We are currently flying a battleship, I believe. This is Concordia. I would say these are our friends, but we no longer have friends just flying around us because I think I got them all killed 2 episodes ago, and I'm still in the process of rebuilding the fleet. But Oh, there they are, off in the distance. Yeah. Yeah, I had issues trying to put new ships into the fleet, and so they're still in the process of getting back. So here they come. But we're not here to talk about them. So if you didn't catch last episode, we're in the process of building a massive, big, gigantic, dear God, why are we building this class ship? Now. And, oh, hello. Yeah, they sometimes get really friendly. Doesn't help I'm in technically one of the smallest ships. And that's actually an AI-controlled ship, not one of the War Masters. But if we dock at Concordia, so to build the Proxima, we need to research, well, all the little chunks of the Proxima, which require a large pile of stuff. Mostly, I think I calculated it out to be around like 300,000 ore. So there's a variety of ways I can go about getting ore. I can mine asteroids for forever and a day for like single digits ore chunks. I can send civilian fleets out on asteroid ore runs for small bits of credits and gas. Apparently even ships need fuel. I can go about upgrading existing mining operations, which increases the various yields per week, although that does cost a fair bit of ore. I also need mining operation 2 before I can do that. But, I mean, it happens relatively, somewhat-ish, often. So, and it's a quantity issue. So having more... Dang. Worry me that one carrier class vessel has that much fleet power, whereas cruiser to destroyer, 1 frigate, 3 corvettes, and 6 gunships have that much. But I digress. So as I was saying, because ore is a quantity issue, I can go about getting more ore by upgrading the mining operations, which is a quality solution, or I can just go about and grab more mining operations, which is technically a quantity issue, and I would say I don't have very many hostile groups nearby, but that's mainly because this whole section is unexplored, although it looks like it does stretch relatively down. There's also the Scent Chunk Barney, which I would need to cross between the Sura Barney and the Maganote Barney just to get to. And I like having my areas in one continuous grouping. Or at least I did before the game had me go out this way and this way. But there's still a large chunk of unexplored, unfriendly areas to, well, I guess conquer. And we'll see if getting more ore refineries helps with that. Because the main storyline game parts of the game won't continue until after we build Proxima. So I'm apparently just flying off in the middle of nowhere, technically in the wrong direction. So we'll head off this way. I mean, I could technically also do various job board jobs to rake in large piles of cash, just so that way I have enough money to build and upgrade an even bigger ship. But I like waiting to upgrade the ship until I need to do so based off of the story. So the story, I guess, can be broken down into various chapters depending upon the size of ship needed. We're currently in the battleship chapter. I don't know if building the Proxima is basically the end game, or it's like build the Proxima, now upgrade to a dreadnought, or upgrade to a carrier, or just upgrade to something. Alright, I think the carrier is actually going to win this. Because this was 5,000 and change in terms of insurgent power, and now it's dropped below the carrier's power. So very big ships. But as I was saying about the ore collection, I netted 15 ore when I need like 300,000. So yeah, I can either... Actually, no, that one was worth quite a bit, comparatively. It's like 30 and change. So yeah, I can just go through and...
Initiating sublight.
Just hit up random asteroids. Or I can just travel into hostile territory and take theirs. So let's hit this place, Nerea. Looks like it actually gives me gas as opposed to ore, but I do need some gas, not nearly as much as ore, but it is there. And if I don't pay attention to the gas or even materials, I can eventually gather all the ore that I need, but not have enough of, well, the other two resources.
Roger that. Commencing automated firing sequence. Tactical report of hostiles in the area.
Just bypass that frigate.
One of our fleets have returned.
Let him see us so that we can warn the others. Because we're going into war. Oh, look, that's one of the anomalies that I mentioned. And here we are at whatever this is. Of course, I should probably back up because my friends haven't arrived quite yet. Cloak the ship. That's kind of interesting right there.
I'll hunt you to the end of the galaxy.
I'm sure you will. Ooh, a freightliner. Let's board it. Alright, so boarding action requires Marines. They basically breach the hull, even though they teleport in. Bust to the cargo bay, get healed by the med bay, which can be variable depending upon this line. Go from the med bay to engine room. From engine room, I believe it's shields or weapons? Shields. From there, it's weapons. And from there, it's the bridge. And if they have enough troops left over, they're able to take the bridge. If they don't, it's a percentage. So we don't have enough troops, so it's a 32% chance of success. And the bridge has been pacified. So I now have a new freightliner. So what I can do is, if this was a combat vessel, I can send the hull to headquarters to research, for research to allow construction, which will allow me to build more AI-controlled vessels of this. I can also salvage it for parts, which nets me quite a bit of materials. I can spend 9 million in change credits to repair the ship and put it in my garage, which makes it a ship that I can fly, or I can just simply sell it for 4.5 million extra credits. I mean, Freightliner would probably be nice, but it's basically a well, it's not basically a glorified cargo vessel. It is a massive cargo vessel. And cargo doesn't really net much coin in this game, at least not that I've seen, so it's basically... the whole aspect of cargo, I guess, is to fill in a side piece that for the random player that doesn't want to blow up half the system. In which case there are better games for that, but that's a moot point. Basically, all cargo I've ever seen used for is just random loot dropped by those that you have slain and then sold for a profit. Which is interesting given the fact that pretty much everybody you fight carries plasma rifles, which seems to be illegal everywhere. But you can still sell them pretty much anywhere. Anyway, let's just sell the ship and move on. Oh, look, another freight line. unfortunately, Marines require a slight cooldown before they can be used again. So I can't just basically steal a Freightliner and then steal another Freightliner. Besides, that one's dead. Moving on. Oh, look, another Freightliner. I can also select various derelicts and whatnot and blow them up for a small bit of materials.
There's no standing retreat.
Yep, troops are still not ready for deployment.
HQ sends word that one of our fleets have finished their task.
Oh goody, we netted 200 some odd resources. This is one of the anomalies I talked about in the opening.
Scanning target.
They cause various debuffs. I think a few cause buffs, but I don't recall seeing any, or at least I don't quite know exactly what they do. But you can just basically scan it with your sensors and it goes away. As for this thing, send over a rating.
Security is on their way.
So you like to gamble, eh?
We breach it. And enemy ships show up.
I'll take you with me.
And our friends kill them all, basically.
We're in no shape to continue.
And then we advance to the cargo bay. And, well, don't have enough Marines to actually pillage it. But, we manage it with what we have. And, we get 70%. So we get 1,172 extra gas. And apparently we practically break it.
Initiating
Alright, so let's
satellite.
move on. Various mysterious signals, I don't really bother with those. So one thing that I really want to look for, oh look, another gas collector. And our allies have taken this forward outpost. Goody. But as I was saying, one thing that I really want to look for is the relay satellite, which should help clear out, well, the zone, which is... Or, you know, I could just attack the forward outpost and claim the zone for myself. But each zone is basically one, I guess, 4 of these hexagons in this dotted line, and then each region is the solid line.
Tactical reports of hostiles in the area.
Alright, so
Sensors
we're now in the middle of combat.
around us.
And apparently this whole area is radioactive. Oh, goody. Let's see if we can take this Corvette. Sorry. I do need to keep track of the distance that I am away, far enough away from it. If I'm not paying attention, I can actually get far enough away in this contact. And we've captured the zone, because it's pretty much rather defenseless. Right, and because the Corvette's smaller than a Freightliner, I don't need nearly as many Marines to take the bridge. So we pacify the bridge. I don't really need the Corvette, but apparently I've already researched it. So... Also, because this is a military vessel, I can actually spend materials to repair it, send it to headquarters, and turn it into an AI ship that I can give orders to. You know what, let's actually salvage it for materials, because up until needing the Proxima, well, needing to research the Proxima, the major drain on supply has been, well...
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
Materials. Couldn't remember what it was I was going to say. Alright, so Nexus insurgents are probably coming to try to take back this forward outpost. They have a fleet in the zone called the Galactic Wolves. It has a fleet power of 8,476 and consists of 1 carrier, 1 cruiser, 3 destroyers, and a corvette. Send a fleet to repair the station I kind of raided. Not kind of raided, I did raid. But they're definitely making a beeline for the forward outpost, so let's go do that. And we can also repair this T-gate. Oh, look, an Asgard-class carrier. Goody. Alright, let's actually get there at a speed that is reasonable. So, my Marines are probably tired after it's done, so let's just shoot everything. And my shields are going down, and we're dead. Okay. Alright, so everything that I did just now doesn't matter.
Initiating sublight.
I would say since this is technically no longer being engaged by our allies, we could probably hit here, but it looks like their fleet's currently on the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just shoot a couple asteroids. We'll wait for my fleet to actually show up. It's so nice not to take damage from plowing into asteroids, especially at relativistic speeds. They here yet? No, they are not. Alright, fleet's here.
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
Let's go. Alright, so my fleet was there.
All decks were flying through hostile space.
Let's see if we can take this Loki-class frigate. What I should probably do is actually pillage things. Because there is a whole series of character skills revolving around taking vessel, well, boarding actions, as I like to call it. And I require, in order to proceed on, I require X number of ship captures and Y number of what's known as pillage points, which basically are points awarded when I pillage a room, and the number of points awarded depends upon the room that's pillaged. Since this is a smaller frigate, I can just take the bridge with the 30-some-odd troops I have. Alright, so again, I apparently already researched this, so salvage it for parts because I need materials to build carriers. Alright, so has my fleet arrived yet? It's still on the way. Okay. Yeah, I need like 10,000 ore at the cheapest. Just to, and like 10,000 gas as well. Just to upgrade one part.
Engaging sublight.
Now my fleet should be here, so they shouldn't fall behind again. Because I could have sworn everything moves at the same speed at sublight. But I'm not 1% certain about that. What are they doing now? Pretty good. Okay. So that's just a regular freighter. So it's a smaller vessel and probably not worth nearly as much, so. Class frigate, there's another freightliner. Okay, so while in terms of boarding actions, the actual areas that they hit in terms of breaching hull, cargo bay, engine room, shield bay, weapons bay, and so forth, and bridge, are usually in the same sequence, the med bay sometimes changes. So if you saw the first time I tried this, before my ship got exploded, you know, the med bay was like right after the cargo bay, whereas this one, it's right before the engine room, the weapons control. Since it doesn't take any troops to go past the med bay, I should have more troops when taking the bridge. Yeah, so now at the 39, I have 100% chance of actually taking this vessel. Suppose the last time I had like 33, I think, and was at 79%. But again, I don't really need it, so let's just sell it for coin. Because big ships require a large amount of coin. And anyway, as for you, my troops are still tired, so. And I'm out of boarding range anyway. So I keep forgetting I have a wing of fighters on this ship, and I keep forgetting to deploy them. I shouldn't be in the radioactive nebula area yet, so I should be good there. Of course, I'm not quite certain why I'm planning on boarding the Nerea. I just simply get extra gas, and well, I do technically need gas. I don't need it specifically.
Security is on their way.
And more enemy ships show up. But let's be honest, they're probably not going to be much of a threat to my fleet. Like, I'm just going to sit here and just not pay attention. Alright, so this time they have failed to pillage structure, just simply because random chance. So you know what, this will eventually be mine anyway, so once I take the zone. I believe the forward outpost was off in this direction. Yep, there we are.
We're entering enemy territory.
And yet you didn't. Moving on. Look, a little Valkyrie gun. And the zone has been captured. And Tara Higgs is apparently leveled up. Okay, good. Alright, so once again we captured the zone. Because the boarding action wasn't successful, I don't have to repair the Nerea. Also get 2 gas collectors. Apparently this T-gate's inactive. I can repair the T-gate, which I shall do just simply because it allows me to get an extra jump point, even though it does take up, well, ore. Also construct this gas collector because it's busted. Now I get kind of out of range of the radiated nebula.
Word that one of our fleets have finished their task.
Because this fleet's still inbound. Apparently also has a War Master. I wonder if that's part of the reason why I got taken out relatively quickly. So, War Masters are basically named NPCs that have their own skills and tech trees. They're basically souped up, well, I guess I wouldn't say souped up AI ships, but they're basically a difference somewhere between your generic AI ship and well, the playable character. So, battle has started.
HQ sends word that one of our fleets
But I actually have
finished their
3 on my
task.
main fleet. By main fleet, I mean only fleet. So it looks like what little security forces I actually have defending this outpost has engaged the enemy fleet. But my fleet's nearby, so we should be able to help once, you know, everybody gets here. Now let's deploy the fighters this time. Alright, as at least one member of my fleet has arrived.
Fleets have finished their task.
Make that 2. Off in the corner. And yeah, everybody dogpile the carrier.
This looks like the end of the road.
Because I think I am actually on the edge of an irradiated zone. Well, the irradiated nebula. I do need to keep track of my health better than normal. I think that's part of the reason why I died relatively quickly last time. Looks like all that's left is the carrier. And I'm actually out of weapons right now. Flying away from him. And he's also got a biometric shield because he is a War Master. Killed all of his friends, but he's still that much fleet power. And he's dead. Alright, looks like we are once again under the influence of anomalies.
Initializing scan.
Because there seems to be a whole patch of them, we'll just scan them all and get them out of the way. Right, so this one's so these apparently disperse the grappler, which is our tractor beam that I keep forgetting we have, so I don't actually use. And let's recall the fighters because A, they're refueling, and B, I just remember that they're still out there.
Focusing scanning beam on target.
I always forget about the fighters. I mean, they basically throw themselves at ships that would probably be a hassle for my main ship, and as far as I know, they don't complain, and I constantly forget that they're there, so. More power to them. It's just a small derelict, so we get basically 2 materials from it. In the meantime, let's head over this way. Also, the T-gate's up and running, so I can use that as a jump point. Let's not go look at the artifact. Let's go hit up every possible... I know this is science, but let's just check that out anyway. Every possible ore run I have access to.
All hands be advised. We've entered a hostile region.
I mean, it looks like it's just a gunship patrol, so shouldn't be too hard. Well, there is one destroyer.
Occurs upon your ship. No one attacked me and lives to tell about it.
We did.
Target destroyed.
Oh, look, a random freighter. Because why not? Alright, moving right along. Oh look,
Engaging
we're at the relay
satellite.
satellite, and technically the forward outpost. So let's just hack this. So if I hack the satellite, it actually reveals the entire zone, so I can actually see what's in here. Alright, zone data updated. So now I can see that, wow, there's actually an entire military station here. Approximate fleet power of 18,856. And my Honor Armada has a fleet power of 21,307. Okay, cool. Let's hit the forward outpost.
Sublight.
Nothing else, and this zone is actually only 2 hexes. Interesting. For nothing, so if for no other reason, so that way it tracks the attention of the Nexus insurgents. At least they're over a Space Corps fleet. And here we are at the outpost. And we've taken the zone. Although this station is still under Nexus insurgent control.
Engage sublight.
But since this fleet's still on the way, let's actually go out and meet them. Or not, because they got to the outpost before we got to them. Does not look like much, though. That one's already dead. Look, a frigate.
Target
Swing around to hit that thing.
Reports of excessive damage through all decks. I almost didn't see your leadership. By all that is right, avenge me!
We've destroyed an enemy target.
I think all those heavy weapons were a waste for that one, but oh well. Alright, and their fleet is now gone, so let's hit the station.
Engage sublight.
Because it will actually increase our fleet power by 2,000, which means we're able to actually field more ships. Although it doesn't give us any extra super capital ships, so no more battleships or cruisers, destroyers, dreadnoughts. But no, it would allow us to field more ships, even if it's not more bigger ships. Alright, and it looks like that they actually got in the middle of combat because part of their shield grid is down and there's a whole bunch of derelicts out there. So let's hit the fleet first, because that's how I operate. I think I'm actually out of heavy ammo, but I'm not. can actually tell based off of the tactical display. Although it's sometimes hard to see when focusing on your target. But I believe that's the charge for heavy weapon load, and this right here is heavy weapon ammo. Speaking of fighters, apparently we just went up a level. It's a freight liner. Oh, they have a battleship here. Deploy troops on the battleship. Now, I'm definitely probably not going to be able to take this ship. I mean, I'd be surprised if I could, but also reinforce the shields. I mean, the med bay is not right next to the bridge, so I'm not hopeful. Yeah, 25% chance of taking the bridge. I should have pillaged the weapons control. Troops have failed. I figured as much, but okay. Of course, port shields are down to 5% as I swing the port shield around to face the enemy vessel. Use the special abilities I almost never use to take that out. Cloak the ship. Alright, so now all that should be left are basically the platforms. The fixed gun emplacements on protecting the station from there. No, it actually looks like there is one ship left.
Capacity.
Get behind my fleet so that way the entire defensive network isn't just shooting me. Oh, there's actually still a carrier out here. I wonder why they haven't attacked the station yet.
Starboard shield is at half capacity.
Carriers are one of the biggest vessels. My port and starboard shields are out.
Shields restored, Captain.
Yeah, but not by much. What I have a feeling military fleets have been fighting in the zone and the Scourge.
Target
So, wow.
eliminated.
We may be stationary, but we're sure as hell reactionary.
Sensors are picking up a hostile installation nearby.
No kidding. Let's try to take this out in a couple minutes. We won't be taking this out in a couple minutes. Let's actually use scavenger drones to consume this derelict. Well, I wait for my fleet to basically fight the station defenses for me. Mainly because my shields are heavily weakened and I want them recharged. There goes that shield grid. And that defensive platform. I mean, they really... Were it up to me, I'd prefer it if they attacked the gun platforms before the shields. Although I'm not entirely certain if they can while the shields are still intact. I mean, I just assume that the shields prevented weapons fire from hitting, well, the station. But you can pass clean through the shields without any issue. You can even shoot through them to hit the other platforms. Still not quite certain what the shield platforms do. Alright, so we've captured the station. So we got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to get here. Otherwise we lose this zone. Oh, Leonard Maxton went up a level. And we now apparently have 22,000 ore. I was clearly not paying attention to what was going on. But, let's get to this forward outpost first. Yeah, so I have plasma rifles and cybernet implants in my inventory, and we're now close enough that we are now considered part of the battle.
Engaging sublight.
I just realized I never recalled the fighters from the station attack. So they are literally God knows where. Meantime, just kill this cruiser. Alright, and we successfully defended this zone. So let's see what the station has to offer before we plow even deeper into what apparently is called the Scourge. Also, I think it said we went up and we gained a skill point. Of course, everything requires at least, well, 3 skill points, so 1 point there. And we don't have any spare perk points, so no more extra perks. However, we did have enough to research one thing in the Proxima category. So, well, enough ore, I should say. Technically, I think we have enough for 2. Depending upon which ones I choose. So, I mean, it doesn't matter, I guess, which order. So, let's actually wait until... So I want to see if researching everything affects what it looks like at the Proxima station.
Course set.
So let's hit up the military installation. See what's down here in... Actually, I think that's another region line. See what's down here, and then take the T-gate back up. I still forget to recall the fighters.
Grace us with your presence.
And here we are.
Adjusting access elevation.
And so here we dock. Okay, so this is the military station of who knows. Oh look, there are the fighters. See, we returned. Didn't forget about you guys. Alright, so there's no shipyard, so we can't buy new ships, but there's a dry dock, so we can repair and rearm. There's also a trader, so I can sell all the stuff I just happened to pick up. You can also change the loadout, but I think every place has roughly the same stuff. Although these eraser beam weapons are probably better than what I currently got. But should probably save up for a bigger ship in case I need one.
May your travels be bountiful.
So that was interesting. So on that note, let's head down this way.
Engage sublight.
Because I'm looking to see if there's any more asteroid fields I can take from. It looks like there's one down here. And one over here. So I think this is the radioactive nebula. So rather than... we're basically across the border now.
Captain, we're flying through enemy territory.
Of course we are. Pay for ignoring you? I can do that. Anyway. So let's hit up the satellite. Not what I meant by hitting up the satellite, but okay. Wanted it hacked, not shot.
It's been a hell of a ride.
It's here. I don't know why everybody's got like freighters just sitting around everywhere. Weird.
HQ reports one of our fleets have returned.
Alright, so Freeport Station is apparently the controlling area for this 3-hexagon zone. And it would give me 1 extra civilian fleet, and I think I lost a super capital ship because I was at 3, and now I am at 2. I think I lost a battleship somewhere.
Engaging sublight.
We apparently entered the gallows. So let's hit this station before heading back. This entire area is enemy territory. What else is new?
HQ sends word that one of our fleets have finished their task.
Alright, so we swing around, wait for, well, everybody else to show up. Freightliner. Someone fired missiles at me. I fly into somebody because I'm not paying attention. Deploy the
Fighter
fighters.
squadrons, you're good to go.
We're fighting the Hexen? At least that one is. Bunch of freighters so far. Let's actually head towards the objective. How's about that? Yeah, excellent. Valnier class corvette.
Everyone to the escape pod.
One down. Two down. Freightliner.
You cannot run.
I mean, we can. Just choose not to.
Assistance required. We can't take this any longer.
Two more. Almost a third. Here's a third.
You won't cut the line.
I'm not planning on it. Oh, no. Odin class battleship. Interesting. Was an Odin class battleship, now it's dead. Alright, so I guess all that's left of the platforms. Just take that out for a small amount of materials. Focus on the gun platform if you're so kind. Now, gun platforms are what shoot back at us.
One of our
So.
fleets have finished their job.
Gun crews would be so kind as to actually shoot them first. I would appreciate it.
One shield is at 50%.
Now, the shield generators probably won't cause us damage unless we smack into them. Gun platforms, on the other hand, will. Especially if I favor the side with the weaker shields currently. use that gun platform and we plow into the station. Ironically, collision damage isn't a thing in this game, apparently. I think we took out all the gun platforms. And the zone has been captured. I guess we hadn't taken out all the gun platforms. And we hit level 34, I believe. We call the fighters. And I gained not only one skill point, but a perk point as well. So let us dock. And this station looks like exactly the same as the old one, as the one we were just at. This one also does not have a shipyard. We can rearm, even we could repair as well, but we took no damage. So let's just sell all the stuff we just picked up from the corpses of the fallen. Use our now 3 skill points to upgrade Disable. This is the only one that was still at level 5. And what new perk point do I want? Well, let's actually go with Tax Collector. Part of me does want to go with Miner 2, just so that way I can get increase the amount of resources I get from mining asteroids by 300%, but the amount I get is ridiculously small to begin with, so it would basically double what a little over double what I'm currently getting, which since what I'm currently getting is like 30 or so. Yeah. But here, if I unlock this one, each zone under my control gets me an extra 540 credits. I do like this one, that King Demands.
Safe travels.
Alright, so that's another zone to fall to our forces, but it doesn't really help with the war issue. Although we're now at 30,000 ore. So it is getting up there. So we'll just cut through this zone while we head to the T-gate. And hopefully the control area, or at least the relay satellite's on the way, so we can see what this zone looks like. Well, in truth, what I should do is use this area as a staging ground to hit here. Because this station looks like it gets me an extra 400 ore per week. So I think it's a lot like where's this place. Alright, so this is actually a friendly territory, just past this zone.
Hostile region entered.
Well, this appears to be mostly empty space. There's actually nothing up this way. Interesting. I said on the way to the T-gate, so head to the T-gate and exit there. Apparently we're through the T-gate. Rear.
Engage sublight.
Alright, so upgrade my existing mining operations further. I'm going to need to research something called Mining Operation 2.
We at Concordia salute you, Captain.
Alright, so this is the Proxima station. So this is what they're using to build the Proxima? Okay, so I'm just gonna dock with Concordia. Since I don't have anything researched, it doesn't look like there's anything there. I can build a new ship. I mean, it doesn't take ore, just materials and coin. So let's put in a request for a new carrier. Because while research does require a large pile of ore, it does require some materials. I guess we just go up the list. Well, yeah, up the list. So let's start with hyperspace nav computer. I could technically emergency jump is at the very bottom, but I can't actually research that until I research hyperspace nav computer. And while I'm here, I'll research one thing at a time, but I mean, mining operation 2 doesn't require that much ore, just a large pile of gas.
May your travels be bountiful.
Now we just wait for it to be researched. It's already at 7%, and I think it stays paused while I'm in a station.
Initiating sublight.
Just jumping a small distance away so I can get a better look at the Proxima station. Should probably stop too. Freightliners. Don't quite know why they're that close to my territory and flagged hostile, but they are.
Firing at will.
Wrong button. $100,000 fleet power to take a planet. Well, the planet would give me +1 max super capital ship capacity. There's only so many planets. Apparently, my enemies are fighting each other. Because both Helmsford and Sentchuk are both flagged red for me, and there's a fleet battle for this region, and it looks like the Sentchuk are winning because they have 1 carrier and 1 dreadnought against 1 battleship, 5 frigates, and 9 gunships. Although there are 3 ore spots here. What's this? Galatrix? That's a PvP thing. I wonder if I take these 3 areas, can I actually crush Helmsford? Because it looks like Sentchunk's going to take this area. It does look like they have quite a few very large ships. They also have more upgraded areas, so unlike the pirates where I just basically show up and steamroll them, if I fight the Sentchuk directly, I mean technically we are, I would say we are automatically fighting the Sentchuk directly, but we're not. Maganote's in between us and them. Alright, so they finished the hyperspace nav computer. Which is one of the 12 projects we need to complete. Apparently we missed quite a few weekly incomes. Yeah. But I'm not seeing any difference here. I don't know if... Well, A, it doesn't automatically happen while I'm looking at it. And B, if it doesn't change because I don't have the hull researched and everything's got to go inside the hull first.
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
Concordia on all channels. Greetings.
Stop.
That? Momentarily, a mining ring can set us off.
still collect as enemies, still have to fight you. Take it up with your bosses.
I'll have to teach you a lesson, Kern.
A whole bunch of ore for destroying a freighter.
No ship's taking this much damage and survive.
Alright, so I got 35 troops left. It's going to take 12 more to advance. I'm not really liking my chances with 23 people. So let's just pillage weapons control because I always need to pillage more things. And we don't really have enough to advance. So let's just retreat and then blow it up. Take the derelict out. You can see it right there. And it's gone.
There's no shame in retreat.
Target eliminated.
It's apparently either I've always been getting ore whenever I destroy a ship, or I've
Changing
if it's
course.
not noticed, or that's new. And this area is once again under threat. So let's jump here, and then it's under attack by one destroyer. About to have a very bad day. Meantime,
Affirmative. Engage sublight. External radiation levels are too high.
alright, so for research, still can't get the whole frame. You know what? Let's see if I can save up for the whole frame. So rather than just researching the small things first, or the cheaper things first, let's see if researching the frame changes anything. First, I'm probably not going to get to this video, simply because it's been a while. And I'm still just shy, and I'm still like 19,000 somewhat change shy, and we've arrived to make the destroyer have a very bad day. It's a lot of debris. Hello, goodbye.
You in my sight.
Back, send over the troops.
Smash the pretender.
I can take this destroyer with 31 Marines. Ship's been pacified. I've already researched it, so let's salvage it for parts. I've stolen their entire fleet because their entire fleet consists of one ship. Prepare the hull because it's slowly being eaten away by the ambient radiation because I do not have the radiation protection grid on me on this ship. So let's actually head down this way, see what's down here. I'm assuming the fleet came from here. I highly doubt Helmsford or the Scent Chunk sent an entire fleet up this way through Maginot without their knowledge. Let's say the Helmsford Barony managed to protect it, but no, that's the region that they're in. The Scent Chunk Barony now controls it. And then Maginot is about to attack it with a lone dreadnought against a battleship, 4 frigates, and a gunship, and it's practically evenly matched. So,
External radiation levels are too high. Initiating target scan.
so the shield dampener's gone, but the radiation's just eating through the hull, so rather than exploring down this way,
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
let's just jump to this T-gate. Oh, this T-gate,
We're taking damage, Captain.
then here. I'll go and fly through the side of it and then just jump. I won't complain. Alright, let's head to Balor. The command planet of the Maganaut Barony. Oh, now, I was gonna say 3 more dreadnoughts showed up, but Helmsford has helped Maganaut. I don't know if Helmsford and Maganaut are fighting each other. I'm just here to rearm, repair, sell the loot of the fallen. Then I'll be on my way. Alright, so if this area is just going to be one massive radiated pile, alright, this zone's under contention, and as much as I want the ore
Engaging sublight.
I think if I help out, I won't get control of the area, and I don't want to fight the Maganaut for it. Because they're what passes for friends, and I have too few friends as it is. So let's just cripple the Helmsford Barony. Oh, look, my carrier's done. We'll see how this battle plays out.
Proceed with caution, Captain. We encountered the henchman of a criminal with a bounty set on their life.
Cool. Not really interested right now. Well, let's just hit the fort outpost. The fleet will eventually show up. In the meantime, let us actually research Mining Operation 2. I know it's going to cost me a pile of resources, but eventually, you know, I'll make it all back. Hopefully, kind of, sort of. Probably not, but it is good to hope things. At some point, I think I actually lost the battleship. Alright, so now we wait for the rest of my friends to arrive. Grab some cargo while I'm here. These very shiny rocks. Man, you guys are still some distance away. Of course, they're probably fighting the pirate henchman, the bounty henchman. We actually filled up the cargo bay. Interesting. Well, not we, I. Let's just try to take the Squire-class gunship. Let's also grapple it, just simply because A, I just remembered it's there, and B, just in case it tries to fly away. Let's also stop, so that way I don't fly into things. I like how this gunship's name is the Collateral. I think it's also trying to shoot missiles at it. Alright, cut the grapple because we've just pacified the bridge. And, I can send the hull to research, so let's send the hull to research. Random Freightliner.
Engaging sublight.
Alright, and the rest of my fleet has decided to engage the outpost finally. Oh, a dreadnought. Alright, deploy the fighters. Alright, pile on the dreadnought. Charge the shields, because I just realized the port facing is low again. By low, I mean completely out.
Port shield down to 25%, Captain.
Alright, and there goes their dreadnought. Blow up the ship, because something's shooting at me. There's a second dreadnought here. Interesting. Mark that target. Repair the hull.
Any more damage and we're done for.
Firing at will.
To get out of range. I know when the ships get large enough, they just basically stop moving and just simply effectively broadside, I guess. Just like to point out, I'm in a battleship, and I'm technically the smallest ship in this fight currently. Because all of my War Masters are either in dreadnoughts or carriers themselves, and the only AI-controlled ship I have left in this fleet is another carrier. Unless it died. Alright, so Mining Operation 2 has been fully researched, so I can now upgrade my mining operations even further. And we capture the zone with that Dreadnought's death. Maxton and Nika also go up another level. And my cargo capacity is filled, and let us return the fighters. Alright, so my little fleet now consists of, well, the same. So, also, it looks like the Helmsford Barney now controls this, will regain control of this area. But I took this area from them, so I now have 3 more mining operations. So that should help with my ore supply problems. I periodically check here because last episode this zone was taken and I completely did not notice it. So we have a little chunk of territory now in the middle of nowhere. Well, at least not in the middle of nowhere, just far from us and close to our enemies, but, you know, been par for the course as of late. So they plan on just basically crushing the Helmsford Barney because they don't have a planet that's got 100,000 fleet power, so not easy to take. Given the fact that my current maximum is a total of 30,000, so, you know, even if I maxed out fleet power by building the most powerful, biggest ships I can, it would still... Well, I mean, that's actually the command points. My actual fleet power is 18,000 and change, but still, since that's about a third, you know, almost a third of my command points, and my total fleet power when combined with this carrier is about 20,000, so I would be able to field maybe 60,000 fleet power, give or take, and I would still be outnumbered by the defenses of the planet. So, I'm just going to try to take the rest of the Barney, and Senchuk has decided to try to take this place again. So, while they're busy fighting that, I shall probably strive to take the rest of Helmsford, so that way I have a bigger area, more defensive area. I may actually try to take everything else from Senchuk except their planet. Just simply because that should hopefully cut down their power base. Which certainly probably give relief to the Maganoid. But that's all going to be another issue for another day, because I'm going to call it here. Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.